Guardians of the Nation, what is going on, guys? Your boy Sly here, and today is the day the beta has finally dropped for PlayStation, and even though I'm an Xbox guy, I switched to the dark side just for a few days until I can hop back on Xbox, but these controls are absolutely killing me, y'all. I mean, side-by-side joysticks? What madness is this? In any case, this is one of the many Destiny 2 videos that will be on the way. The one I wanted to show you all first was the Voidwalker Subclass, and then I'll check out the Sentinel Titan after that. But things have drastically changed since the build we saw back at the Dre event and E3. So in this video, I wanted to show you all what has changed, and then we'll dive into some of these insane perks that the Voidwalker Subclass has, which seems to me to be pretty powerful once you get the hang of how it works, and it's going to be a hard class not to use. So first off, guys, let me show you what's going on in terms of what's different from the older builds. The biggest thing is that we thought we were getting agility, armor, and recovery instead of intellect, discipline, strength. Well, that is no longer the case. We now have resilience, mobility, and recovery. While they function somewhat in the same way, resilience is explained as the amount of damage you can take before you start to lose health. Mobility is pretty much the same as agility, and it goes hand in hand with movement speed and jump height. Then finally, recovery is the same thing that we're used to now, how fast you can gain back your health. Now, how this works on armor is kind of interesting. Now, the reason subclass menus look so empty this time around is that we no longer can change agility, armor, or recovery. Well, now, of course, it's, resilience, mobility, and recovery. But anyways, well, the reason why they look like that is because they're all built into armor. Armor is the sole way to boost these stats now. And like I said, it's called resilience, mobility, and recovery. So that's pretty much the same thing, just in a different way. Now, just like our old armor sets, each armor piece drops with 2 stats rolled into it. But on top of that, each armor piece also has an intrinsic stat rolled into it as well. For instance, when you start a Warlock, your intrinsic armor perk gives you extra mobility, as you can see here. But there are others that intrinsically give you more resilience or more recovery. Just depends on what's rolled. Now, I'm sure this will be the next chase, guys, finding the optimum amount of each to get the best build. So far, from what we know, intrinsic perks are random, and they can change, even on weapons. Now, at the bottom, below the stats, we have armor mod slots, and if you're asking whatever happened to infusion, well, here it is, my friend, at the bottom left, and once you hover over it, all of your infusion material will be listed right below it. Now, of course, I have nothing to infuse, because everything's the same light level in the beta, but that's where it will be. To the right of infusion, we have an armor mod slot. Now, these are still a mystery. I'm assuming they'll add stuff to weapons like they used to. For instance, extra reload speed, faster melee speed, more ammo, stuff like that. And of course, the far right, well, that's the armor shader slot. So that's how stats work. But there's also defense. Every piece of armor adds defense, which lessens damage, even your class item. But this time around, your class item does not add to any of your stats. It's a static item that adds defense only. So that's the biggest change so far to all of the characters. Now, let's get to the Voidwalker. We start off with hovering over your subclass, and it shows you which skill tree you have selected, which attunement that's equipped. Now, there are 2 skill trees in each subclass, and each one is called an attunement. For the beta, there's only 1 attunement available, but each subclass has 2. So, as we check it out, how awesome is the new subclass menu, right? I mean, the way these colors pop is just sick. I'm absolutely loving them. They all look really, really good. So as we check out the subclass, we start off with grenades. We have Vortex, Axion, and Scatter grenades. So far, Axion and Scatter seem to be the most powerful, especially when you have Bloom. In the middle, we have our super ability, which of course is the Nova Bomb. Hurl an explosive ball of void light at the enemy, disintegrating those caught within its blast. The class abilities are still the same and a complete lifesaver, by the way. These rifts are amazing. Combined with a Titan shield, you can get your team through just about anything. We start off with a healing rift, which is what I've been using so far, and then of course the bottom one is empowering rift. Moving on to jumps, we have strafe glide, blink, and then burst glide. So far, burst seems to be the closest jump to what we warlocks use in D1, which is focus burst. But it is a lot more floaty, especially on the Dawnblade. The Dawnblade is all about floatiness. So while you do get an initial boost at the start, more so than in Destiny 1, you float like crazy on the way down. Still not sure how I feel about that yet. Anyways, let's move on to the attunements. The one the beta has unlocked for you is called Attunement of Chaos, which comes with Bloom, which is where enemies explode if you kill them with an ability like a grenade or melee. After that, Chaos Accelerant, which is where things start to get pretty awesome. Hold R1 to draw power from your super to overcharge your grenade, making it deadlier and more effective. By the way, this makes your grenades insanely powerful, but again, it's at the cost of your super sometimes. But if enemies are pulled together and you charge the grenade, Bloom will take care of pretty much entire groups of enemies. A great play on the Voidwalker's energy drain ability, and one I'm absolutely falling in love with. Next, Entropic Pull. Strike an enemy with this melee to drain your enemy's life force and use it to recharge your grenade. And the last one in this attunement is called Cataclysm. Nova Bomb slowly travels and seeks enemies. Detonations shatter into smaller seeker projectiles. Fire your weapon at the Nova Bomb to detonate it early. So that's the Axion bolts that we saw in the IGN video. As you can see here, the Seekers definitely seek out their enemy from a fairly far distance away. Now, it's not as powerful as a direct hit with a Nova Bomb, but in the Crucible, it's absolutely deadly, and they're really hard to get away from. Alright, next up, let's check out Attunement of Hunger, and guys, I really wish this was unlocked because it sounds awesome. First is Devour. Kill an enemy with this melee ability to fully regenerate your health. For a short time afterwards, kills restore additional health. So not only do you fully heal yourself, but as long as you keep killing afterwards, you keep regaining health. Add that to your Rift, and this is a very powerful ability. However, it does make you get in close with a melee kill. Next, my favorite one, Feed the Void. Hold R1, which is right bumper on Xbox, to consume your grenade energy, which in turn regenerates your health. Grants the Devour effect as well, which is where you kill enemies, you keep healing. So that's crazy, right? This build is all about health. And as we move on next, we have Vortex. Nova Bomb creates a singularity which continually damages trapped enemies inside. And the last perk, Insatiable. While the Devour effect is active, killing enemies extends its duration and recharges your grenade. So think about it. Once you have all of these unlocked, you can consume your grenade to gain back your health. Keep killing enemies to keep gaining health, and the more you kill, the longer it extends your health regen ability, and on top of that, you start gaining back your grenade energy. And once your grenade's back, you can just do it all over again. This is a very powerful build, guys. It's going to be an amazing PvE build. Once we get used to all of these, different subclass talents, I can see Voidwalkers, roaming all over the place. But that's about it, guys. That's the Voidwalker in all of its D2 glory. Also, it seems like they tuned down Blink quite a bit from what we've seen in the last IGN video. It's nowhere near as far or as high as they made it out to be, but still, it feels and looks great to use. But that's it for now, Guardians. As always, thank you all so much for watching. My next video will be of the Sentinel Titan, so keep an eye out for that and many more breakdown videos in the near future. Take care, Guardians, and keep those eyes peeled for more D2 vids here very, very soon. But until then, this is your boy Sly. Later, y'all.